Hey everyone, good morning. This will be a quicker video. I just wanted to talk about why selling is so hard in general. I spend like essentially all of my day doing that, and it it's sort of never easy, right? It can be really gratifying and fun, but anyways, I'll get to that. It's never really easy, and there is one truth that early on I wished I would have known, because it would have made all of the no's, all of the craziness sort of easier to understand. And that's that, roughly speaking, a very small percentage of your market is actually going to be buying at any given time. Some use the number 3%, right, as a portion of the market. So if you have 100 accounts that you can possibly get into, um, only three of them are going to be buying in that given cycle, right? Now, of course, there are exceptions to this rule. Maybe you're selling a highly commoditized service, right? Like, disposables right into healthcare, whatever it might be. For me, I sell software, right? And obviously Ruth, but primarily software. And it always was discouraging when we would get so many no's, or so many non-answers, or so many maybes, right? And ultimately, what we realized is that that's okay. It's just a very small portion of these folks have actually maybe budgeted, either financially or in their own minds, right, with the time that they have in the day to purchase a solution like yours, right? It doesn't mean they're buying yours. It just means they're potentially going to purchase a solution like yours, right? So yeah, I mean, it's really tricky, because if only 3% of your market is buying, not only do your actions have to be impactful, but your volume has to be pretty tremendous, right? So if you have, if you um, ultimately, if you have 100 prospects that you can call, right, maybe only three of those are purchasing, or on 1,030 people, right? And additionally, right, if you're a startup, that means that your price sort of has to fall in line with what's like actually going to be profitable down the line, if only that many people are buying, right? So if you have 100 enterprise accounts and only three or four or five of them can buy in a given year, that price probably has to be six figures, 100,000, 200,000, $300,000 a year, right? Now, obviously there's so many exceptions to this, and we're not talking about specific unit economics here, but if you backload all of that in, assume only a small percentage of your market is actually buying in that given time frame. Yeah. Um, so, and how would I go about dealing with that? Well, the volume has to be pretty huge, right? So not only do your actions have to be impactful, as I said, but the volume has to be pretty huge. So if you want to sell 50 people, well, I think, what is that roughly? Is that 1,500? Yeah, maybe, is that 1,500? 3% of 1,500, whatever that is, right? You have to reach out to that many people, and that many people sort of have to know you exist, right? And that's why, for instance, being in a startup is so hard, because there's no lead inbound flow, right? There's no digital footprint where all of these people that you haven't actually spoken to can still find you if they have the challenge, right? We'll get to that in another video. So again, the hardest thing about sales for me when I was first starting out is that there are very few people who are actually ready to buy your product or service in that sales cycle. They are out there, but it's just a much smaller number than you actually think.